Okay, I thought I had received all of my idea cards from Vistaprint, but apparently I did not. I don't remember everything that I order sometimes, because I have to kind of do it on the spur of the moment a lot of times. Okay, these ones are just... Oh, okay, there's one. Okay, these ones are just some nature set inserts here. These are the things that get inserted into some of the nature sets. Some of them are color, a lot of them are black and white. I used to get the color ones, full page inserts, when Vistaprint used to be rather reasonable in terms of cost. But let's take a look at this one right here. This one's a scene that I really like quite some time ago that I've had reprinted here. What happened to my scissor? And I've just kind of started playing around with again recently, but in a little bit of a different way. So, kind of a seasonal card right here. And this right here, I thought this was, this is a Stardream paper, which is kind of a metallic, shimmery style of paper. You've seen those cards where it's like, I don't know what it's in. It looks like it has like mica in it or something like that, but it has a shimmer to it. Now, that doesn't translate here on this print here, but this is the type of paper that it's hard to kind of add some ink into it sometimes, dye-based inks, because it's a rather non-porous, for the most part, surface, so kind of adding all that black into it. I just usually go black and white on it, or used to. And that's with dye-based inks there. Now, I don't recall what ink I used on there, but it could have been a Memories Black for this foreground one. It's so dark right here. I don't think I was using the VersaFine back in that time. I might have been, but I don't remember. But this is dye-based ink, so you can see the dye-based ink right here, and it doesn't stamp out terribly dark. So if you're starting off with almost 100% black, it'll probably stamp out, I'd say, like a 90% gray, maybe. But then the foreground here looks pretty dark, so I'm thinking that could have been the Memories ink, because I did this quite some time ago, and I don't think I was using VersaFine at the time. And then for a very active type of application of this kind of snow flurry to go along with the swooshing kind of background in here, I think I turned the my card at an angle, and I, splatter painted it with like a toothbrush like this, to get that little bit of an angle going. And I go pretty extreme on here on this one, because it looks like a blizzard to me. And then using the same Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White and a paintbrush, I apply a lot of that paint onto these trees. And when you kind of apply it on this paper, it feels like it's kind of beating up on there, but I like that type of texture because you can kind of just scumble it around and put it practically anywhere, and it looks really good. Yeah, you kind of lay it down and it just kind of beads up again, because of that, super sealed off type of surface there. Okay, so anyways, a large postcard there. I really liked doing that scene, and I want to do another one, but oh my gosh, I got this other box here today. I know some of the other ones came in like days ago, so this is all the same order. They just ship it out in so many different parcels. I thought kind of the straggler parcels were going to be just like one block of idea cards, but no. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, it looks like there's 5 different ones here. 1, 2. I'm glad they do this little print here these days. They didn't used to do that. So improving a little bit all the time. You like to see that out of your suppliers, especially for the fact that all these cards now, they cost a lot more than they used to. Back in the day, I don't know, I need to quit saying that because everything's kind of gone up in price everywhere, it seems. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, those are all duplicates right there. And if this is the first idea card, opening that you've seen on these videos. These are cards that I sent out with orders for compositional color, media, and just, I don't know, ideas and just overall inspiration. They're all available to view online. These types of cards on our Flickr account, sometimes on Facebook, etc. But it's just kind of, I gotta quit slashing that top card every time I open these. But it's just kind of nice to have a hard copy. And the reproductions that I get are pretty decent, so it's not really too bad. So these are pretty close to the originals, I would say, in terms of the color saturation and overall tone. Sometimes blues get a little bit weird, but this one's the Spiral Galaxy, and this one I've used a ton of paint pens in here, so there's all kinds of little colors in here to complement that spiral type of structure. I think I called this, this Music in the Soul, because I use that quote stamp right down here, but I think I called another one like Confetti or something like that one time. Okay, let me open these from the back here. Do this all at the same time. I ordered some, not all of these are really old, but some of them are pretty old. I get these cards and I put them into kind of a rotation. If I haven't ordered something in a long time, I'll place an order for it when a Vistaprint sale comes around. And I don't know, some of these I haven't ordered for quite some time. This one was just a scene that I did in purples, and I think it was for the sake of doing purple. Yeah, it's Purple Mist. And I don't know, there's all kinds of different color schemes that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily associate with nature, unless you're kind of like a photographer or something like that. But I always say that it's a good idea to stamp out the types of scenes and with the types of colors that will give you the strongest kind of emotional connection. And if you have a favorite color, you can stamp a scene out in any color scheme that you want. So this one's purple, you know, I don't know. I used to like purple when I was a kid. And that right there, look at this right here. This is the same stamp right here. Stamp down here, here, and believe it or not, right back there in the distance. So you stamp them out darker for the foreground and lower, okay? Lower usually represents something a little bit closer to us. So as you can see, I stamped out the lower items kind of in a darker color. And then as we kind of go up the scene, it's stamped in a lighter color scheme, or lighter value of the same color scheme. And by the time we go up there, that little part of it right there, that's the same part right here, okay, is stamped out. It's probably even the second impression of some other color, like a purple. I don't know if it's this purple. I think it would have been much more red, but it's kind of like a bluish purple violet back there. And probably the second impression. So I probably inked it up, stamped it, and then stamped it in the distance right there to represent distance. Okay, so lower, darker, higher, farther, lighter. Usually, okay, that's just, it's an easy way to approach that. You don't have to do, that's not a rule or anything like that. It's just, it's an easy way to approach that type of distance value color scheme, and I think doing those types of things really gives it a nice kind of emotional quality to it. Anna Karin from South Africa, formerly of South Africa, now Sweden. She puts posts a lot of things on things like Facebook, if you know her, or on her blog. She did this card right here, and I really liked it. With the covered bridge stamp right here, but I really like this cutout. Isn't this awesome right here? Just the format of the paper itself becomes, I don't know, like an accessory or something like that. But what a cool thing. And within the theme of, you know, kind of a deciduous type of subject matter to do that leaf like that. Okay. This one is from a former instructor in Taiwan. Oh, no, this is Anna Karin again, sorry. Between every two pines is a doorway to a new world. And see how she did this one down here, darker kind of right here. And she stamped that one darker, probably to kind of, to draw the attention so it stands out a little bit more. So it kind of makes a connection between the subject matter and that. So these trees represent something a little bit closer to us, but this is where you've stamped that out, or she has, to create a stronger kind of visual and focal point and connection to the quote like that. That's the way I see it. I don't know if that was in her mind, but I'm guessing that's so. This is little ferns down here. See that? Kind of like a Northern Lights type of thing right here, huh? With those streaky colors like that. And look at the her use of values as well. Green right here, and those are probably the second impressions of that same green, and you just use them in the distance like that. Okay, so these ones aren't farther up; they're not higher up, but see, this trunk goes down and it starts right here, right? But see, this trunk for this tree is higher up than this one, so it is kind of higher up, but there's, smaller trees or something like that. So it does represent something a little bit more distant just from the fact that, it has a higher kind of starting point within the space. Okay, final scene right here. I think, I don't know, there might have been another box. No, I think this is the fifth box that's come in. So just something for the holidays. This one, I don't know, I would do this one a little bit differently. It's kind of harsh, I think I would go for a little bit more softness if I were to do this one again. But just kind of a winter scene. And this is kind of a good example of lighting. You just have the kind of the perimeter a little bit darker, and then you divide it up with the use of darkness. So naturally, around the moon, I want things a little bit lighter. And then snow happens to be a really reflective surface, but even if it wasn't, you can have kind of lighter areas, like I have this one down here. See how this is kind of a darker perimeter? And you separate these areas like this with darkness. So what you get is an oscillation of dark, light, okay? In this one right here, it goes, there's a darker area up here, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. Okay, now I could have had this whole area just all light, okay? But it seems like a big area, and I think a little bit redundant to have this whole space here, so I just divide it up like that with a little streak of darker tone, and then you get 1, 2, 3 areas of light instead of just 1, 2, okay? So you can do this all, with any type of scene. It doesn't have to be snow, could be anything. You just kind of divide things up, and it becomes a little more complex because you're oscillating the lights and darks a little bit more. Okay, so anyways, more idea cards headed out to the recipients for inspiration, color scheme ideas, compositional ideas, media ideas. I don't know, this one right here is a cool kind of format idea. Okay, thanks for watching.